Oh, hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 20 of the City of the Crimson Tower. I am Ethan, as always, your game master for the evening. I am joined by these 5 incredible players, performers, and friends of mine here to continue telling this weird, dark, creepy story. As always, those players are Margaret playing Gloria, Sally playing Hawthorne,
Hey, you guys. I look weird.
Lauren playing Brawk,
She means majestic.
Mav playing Nyne.
Forgot how Nyne sounds like, so you're gonna see me mouthing trying to get the voice right.
I do.
You got this.
I do it all the time. If you ever see me on mute, just talking to myself, it's almost me always practicing a voice. And last but not least, Matty playing Karina. We only have a few announcements before we go ahead and jump in right away, pretty much, to this episode 20 session. First announcement, this is an 18+ stream. Almost all of our games are, just because it is safer to say that. You know, just cover your ass. So 18+ stream for language, definitely for violent content, certainly for out-of-game drug use, and I mean, there was in-game opium use, so yeah. 18+, there you go. You can find past episodes of this campaign, The Wylde Beyond, Mothership, and soon our next mini-campaign, Lords of Sin, all on our podcast, Go Buff Yourself. So if you want to listen to the narrative play version of these games where dead time is taken out, the looking up rules and all that, it's all streamlined with extra sound effects and music, please check out Go Buff Yourself. There we go. I've gotten through my announcements. Anyone else think of any? Excellent. Let's go ahead and jump in and run that intro then, and then we'll get into episode 20.
Send pictures when you build it. Like,
And we are live, but the entire crew just freaked out. Go, please show it again, please. You already have it if it's there. Come on. The whole Twilight House.
I'm so excited.
Lego set.
I made a Lego account to when it was like, you know how at the Lego Ideas people can design sets? I literally made an account to back this set.
Yes!
You knew what you wanted. Mav.
That's me in the upside down.
I was not a fan of Twilight.
That sounds like a personal problem.
We are not starting inter-party feuds right now.
Agreed.
We can fight about our favorite fiction after this. I've lost control already. We're a minute in. All right.
It's okay. I never watched it, but I still love it.
Are we ready?
It's relevant vampires, yeah.
The wet sound of a head separating from the neck. The splatting of that head hitting old carpet as it rolls several times to come to a rest at the feet of Karina. And the eyes of this head snap open to you. Karina, as you stand here outside of the door at the end of the sleeping car, the door which read, give me one sec, where'd my note go? The door which read, performance in progress. Please speak to attendant for admission. And as you, here, Leo, come here, buddy. You want to come here as our DM? Yeah. You all get a cat for a little while. As Karina went to talk to the attendant about admission, and you touched the attendant's sleeping shoulder, the head fell away. And so, before we do anything else, Karina, I need you to make me a fear save, please, and this is going to be with -2.
So it's a spirit check, right?
Spirit check, yes.
Okey-dokey. I got a 0.
Oh dear. And so does that mean you initially rolled a critical failure?
Well, yes, because it was -1 for fatigue and -2.
Oh,
so
no,
it
you
was...
didn't get a 1 and a 1 on the die. So you
No,
didn't?
no,
okay.
I got a 2
It's
and
just
a
a
3.
total of a 0. Now, just to remind you,
Total of a 0.
at the beginning of every session, you do regain your bennies. If you want to use one now, you absolutely can.
Given the fact that she's both mentally and physically exhausted, I think a fail suits her better than doing a Benny.
With that in mind, could you please roll me a d20, Karina?
I even have dice with me as I spill them. If I remember correctly, I want lower.
Lower is better here.
I got a natural 20.
Could you please roll me a d12?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna put that dice over here. I don't want to use them anymore. Fucking terrified. Okay, I got a 1 on the d12.
Okay. One sec.
What are those fucking high 20s?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Wingy as fuck.
Yep, that's what you chose. But hey, you chose this.
It's such a pretty dice, too.
It is.
This betrayed me.
I have to look something up. Okay.
This music fucks.
Karina,
Music.
the head rolls to a stop at your feet. The eyes snap open. And the weight of everything you have seen since you have arrived here in Barraville hits you at once, and it unlocks in you an absolute callousness and rage. You now have the major hindrance, bloodthirsty. Your hero never takes prisoners unless under the direct supervision of a superior. Cold-blooded ruthlessness. It often will cost you vital information, create enemies, get you into trouble. This is a new hindrance you have. And you can deal with it when you advance. You can try to get rid of it. But until then, this is a new permanent part of who Karina is. And given that feeling that you have in that exact moment, what do we see on Karina's face, and what is Karina's first reaction?
So you guys are behind her.
Far
So they don't
back. The
actually
rest of you
see-
can't even see what is happening right now. You can just see the faint silhouette of Karina, the door, and the light above the door. That's all the rest of you can see.
So what they see is Karina fall to her knees and just unleash a guttural scream that just fills the quiet of this room. Her hands are clenched at her sides. There are tears streaming down her face, and she is just staring directly ahead, screaming.
Okay. Here's what I would love. Right now, I need we have to do some initiative, some action cards here, because the head, with its eyes open, locking onto you as you drop to your knees and begin to scream, begins to rise up in front of you, floating of its own volition. And the relatively demure face of this middle-aged man who had been sitting here contorts, stretches. The gore that begins to rain from the severed neck doesn't make any biological sense with the pure amount that there is, as it rises and comes in to try to bite at you. But first, we have to get our action cards dealt out. So... come on. Deal out.
Hindrance twins! Yay!
Just had to go off on your own.
Yay!
Just had to do it.
This is gonna be fun.
Do I count as a figure of authority, Karina?
Too ruthless. Crazy.
You can
I
boss
would
me
think
around
so.
anytime.
Jesus. Okay. The order of events that we have is... hold on, trying to get this to deal out. Fine, I'll do it myself with physical cards right now. It's being a bug. So, the way we're going to do this actually, we'll give you all independent ones. That's totally fine. Brawk, 10 of spades. 4 of spades for Gloria, 10 of clubs for Hawthorne, 7 of diamonds for Karina, Jack of hearts for Nyne, and Jack of clubs for the head, which means the 2 at the top are the 2 jacks. The hearts will win the tie, however. So Nyne will go first, followed by the head, followed by Brawk, then Hawthorne, Karina, and Gloria bringing up the rear on this first turn. So, yeah, Hawthorne?
Can we be reminded of all of Karina's wounds and problems to where, like, if she gets hit, is she gonna instantly die or something?
Karina?
Does she have any wounds?
She doesn't have any wounds currently. She is fatigued.
And
so
she
she's a
hasn't
negative
slept in a
1.
while either. Okay.
Yeah, and that's why she's fatigued. She's doing great, y'all. Now she's real angry.
Can we see her?
You can see her. So you can see as she drops. You can hear as she screams. And as she screams, several things happen at once. One of those things you don't see, which is the head beginning to rise up to prepare to attack her. You can't see that from this distance. What you can notice, though, is the cacophonous screaming that begins from all around you as the sleepers who were here in these bunk beds begin to let out horrified, high-pitched screams, all in unison. The sine wave of the different sounds causing this discordant tone that pierces each of your heads. Karina, you take very little notice of this. The rest of you hear that, however. Nyne, you're first.
Well, Nyne here and Karina scream. Usually that doesn't bode well for anything. Runs to make sure she's okay and try to get up to her. And I'm gonna, if I am close up to where I can see this floaty head thing, I'm gonna use all my attacks and punch the shit out of it.
So, what I'm going to say is that you are not, at this distance, able to make it there in a single round without trying to run. Running is something you can do for free. So if you wish to try to run, you can use your pace die to see how much closer you can get.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, so your pace die is a D6.
Yeah. Do I hit the button? Okay. Boom. I got a 10.
10? All right.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Trying to find one thing about running, because we do it so rarely, I've forgotten one rule.
Karina's fucking with my high right now. I'm feeling real good. Now she's screaming. I gotta make sure she's not dying.
There we go. That's what I thought.
Fucking die.
So, you rolled, you got a, what did you get on your running die? A 4?
I got a 4 on the die, plus a 6 equals 10.
What's giving you the plus 6?
I hit my...
The plus 6 is representing your normal movement. So that's how much you can move in total is 10. Got it. So, I will, before you make this choice, I'll give you this one piece of information. You can make it there in that. Oh, actually, even with that, you're still going to be a little bit far away. So you'll have to use your movement next round to make it there. But the additional 4 that you rolled does bring you close enough that you can actually make it next turn without running again. So you begin to sprint up to where Karina is still on her knees, screaming. Do you yell or say anything as you're running that direction?
Yo, Slayer, what the fuck's going on? Yo, wait, hold on. Yo, Slayer, what's going on? You okay? Why are you screaming for?
And you, Karina, can just over as the sound of the screams from all around you now comes to you, you can just barely hear your friend there as you are so consumed in this moment with this rage, this bloodthirst. That will then bring up the head. The head is going to try to bite you, first of all. Will an 8 beat your parry?
Yeah, my parry's at 2.
2, so it beats it actually by a raise.
Oh, good.
$16 total damage as we have an explosion from one of the D6s. What is your...
So my toughness is a 4.
Your toughness is a 4, so that is going to be... Right now, that is shaken and 2 wounds. But great time to remind you, one of the important, very important features of Savage Worlds is, as they call it, a soak roll. I don't like that word. An absorb roll. It just makes me laugh every time I say soak. I'm a child, and so I'm going to call it an absorb roll. But you can try to absorb damage by making a vigor check, but you have to spend a Benny to do so, which means...
So we start with 3 bennies, right?
You do start with 3 bennies. I start with none until you all give them to me.
I'm gonna do a moist roll.
Oh, God,
and...
no.
Worse.
No.
Somehow so much
What
worse.
is... No.
Moisterati.
Oh, I hate it
And
all.
attempt to make a bigger roll. That's the whole point.
I hate it so much.
Okay, I failed on that with a 1.
So that is 1 use. That is 1 Benny. You can now spend a Benny if you wish to re-roll that roll.
That's because you used that word. That's what happened. That's what because you used that word.
Get punished for my use. I'm going to do 1 more Benny.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
That's 2 to me.
Okay, I got a 4.
A 4 means you're going to get rid of 1 of those. So you are shaken with 1 wound.
Okay.
As this thing, flying, blood dripping, there is a little bit of the spinal column that you can see sticking out of the bottom of the neck wound, but it comes in and it bites you and it just rips a part of you away. That will bring up, I believe Brawk was next.
What the fuck?
Oh, thank you. Great reminder, Nyne. Now that you can see this, I need a fear save from you. It's not at a -2. because you didn't see the head separate. So fear save is a spirit check. 8. You
got
are
an 8,
fine.
baby.
You are fine, at least mechanically. All right, Brawk.
Brawk is just still kind of stunned and trying to collect himself, and he sees Nyne run forward, and he sees whatever the fuck's happening right there. No! And then he trips over himself, but manages to still throw up protection. And he's going to, imagine him tripping over, tripping over himself, picking himself up on his hands, throwing his head back very dramatically, looking at them with tears almost in his eyes, and he just throws his hands out, both of them, because he's going to do an additional recipient for his protection, and so both Nyne and Karina will be protected. That will give them plus 2 points of armor.
Can you protect multiple?
Yes, it says additional recipient, plus 1.
Oh.
The power may affect additional targets at a cost of 1 power point each.
Heck yes. So instead of costing 1 power point, it'll cost 2. You still have to roll to activate it.
Yes, and what do I roll here?
For you had, I believe it was your science, was your, or alchemy, sorry.
Alchemy, that's right.
So make an alchemy check to see if it goes off.
Baller, and it does say if you get a raise, which I did.
With a raise, instead of plus 2 being applied to your armor, it is applied to your toughness directly, which means that armor piercing can't bypass it, which is huge. So both Karina and Nyne, your toughness is temporarily 2 higher. This will last for 5 rounds. One question, Brawk.
Does it manifest?
Yes, and just so you know, you can totally choose to have the trappings of this power be that it's invisible. Or you can make it visible. Okay, cool.
So you'll see it starts off as when he stumbles and he immediately throws his hands up, you can see this sort of blur as if his hand is passing through a thick cloud of smoke. And when he throws his hands up, the smoke goes to the middle of his palm and shoots out all of his fingers, and then just vaguely in front of you, like a smoking lounge, you just have this haze to where you can see through, but you're in a smoker's lounge.
I love that. Take a Benny and be sure to make note, those of you with powers, make sure to make note of your trappings, because once you've chosen them, that's what they are for that power. And that might be relevant later on. For example, like if you choose your blast ability to be fire, it is fire, which means if you encounter something with a weakness to fire, it takes more damage. You get to make that choice, but you have to make that choice once.
Sweet.
Awesome. So this little wisp of smoke just appears in front of the two of them, just shielding them a little bit, obscuring them, making them harder to hit. That then will bring us to Hawthorne. Gloria, you are on deck, and then we'll redraw.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. You are up before Gloria. I'm sorry. Good shout.
So Hawthorne will first, after hearing Karina scream, want to impulsively go, but then sees Nyne just bolt off, and then starts hearing the screams all around him. And he will start by looking around to see what these creatures inside the beds are doing first. Are they moving, or are they coming towards us? Are they getting out of their beds?
So, because you were a little bit farther behind, you were able to, in response to these screams, dash off to one of the bunk beds where you can hear it coming from. The bunk beds, they have these curtains in front of them so they have privacy. And from each one where you hear screaming coming, you see this black smoke-like, liquid-like substance that is flowing out of each of those bunks. Do you still open it?
Yes, Hawthorne would impulsively open it.
Okay. When you... One sec. As you pull this one open, you see an individual asleep here who is still, it's a woman. She looks like she might be halfling, but it looks roughly mid-30s, and she is weeping from a terrifying nightmare, just crying, alternated with high-pitched screams. And you see, as you pull the blanket, or as you pull the curtain, there is a shadowy shape looming above her as she sleeps. It is a large spider that takes up the entire remainder of the bunk, as it is just looming, its mandibles just mere inches above the sleeping woman's face.
Does it notice me?
Right now, it doesn't seem to.
As a person, I don't want to do this. Hawthorne would. Hawthorne would do this. Hawthorne will charge it and try and shove his horns into the spider.
Okay. Just a reminder with Savage Worlds, because it's been a little bit since we had a full-on combat, you have up to 3 actions, and you can declare how many. You have to declare how many of those and what you're wanting to do ahead of time. What you've done so far is only a free action, but would you only make 1 attack? Is there anything else you'd like to do? Let me know how you want your turn to go, and then we can roll.
Well, I would really love to rip off its head, but we have to be honest here, and my strongest suit is my horns, and so I think Hawthorne would just be like, just straight on, just try and ram it as fast as possible as soon as he saw it.
So just 1?
Yes, one, forceful. And since it is an evil entity, I have champion as an edge, so does that give me a +2 to my damage for this evil entity that I am fighting?
Let me double check the exact wording of that edge, because
52 on Sway.
I got it right. Oh, yep, page 52. Yes. Let me double check, because we haven't had that yet. Champion.
I know.
Yeah, champions fight the force of darkness, adding +2. Yep. I would say this applies. So, if you hit, your damage will be 2 higher. But you have to hit first.
Okay. Do I do fighting first or my horns?
It is fighting roll is first to see if you
fighting
hit.
roll
Yes.
first. That's what I thought.
Okay.
It's a 4.
A 4. You go
hit.
charging, and you were using your horns, yeah? You pierce where this thing was, and it disappears and then remanifests after you've pulled your horns back. You weren't able to beat its parry, and so did not hit. And now it silently, even though I just made sounds, it silently turns and faces you.
Welcome to the fight.
And next round, I will have to add a new initiative card. So that is.
Oh yeah, did you roll for Ira?
Do
they have an initiative?
Ira's not fighting in this. But yes, I have taken. I have Ira in there as well. Yes, thank you for the reminder, though. That will bring you up, Karina, and then Gloria.
Okay, so I make a spirit check to try to shake the shaken, right?
Yep, you can do that for free, and then, again, if you want, you can spend a Benny just to automatically get rid of shaken, but you might as well try to shake it yourself first, because it's free.
All right, so as the scream of fear turns into a scream of pain, and that smoke starts to fill in around her, it is something familiar to her, and overall rather calming. The idea of a smoke room or smoke in general. And I would see if I said all that just to fail. All right, I guess I'm using my last Benny.
Gimme. 3 bennies for me. Oh, no. You don't have to roll again. If you spend a Benny, you can just clear Shaken.
Okay, good.
So you spend a Benny to remove the Shaken effect. No problem at all.
Okay. Thank God. Otherwise, I was about to get very fussy. So, being unshaken and bleeding, she's going to stand up and try to make some distance between her and this head.
Absolutely.
If possible.
Yeah, no problem.
And then she's actually no. She's going to pull the fire poker out of her pocket and she's going to try to smash this head. She's not going to try to make distance.
Okay, just going for a pure fighting roll. I will let you know something.
She's just going for pure fighting.
I will let you know something. This thing is human head sized. That makes it harder to hit than a human body.
That makes sense. But the head also just took a chunk out of her.
Oh,
so.
100%. In no way saying you're doing something that doesn't make sense. I'm just letting you all know that in Savage World, size, relative size to one another, does impact how hard something is to hit.
Size matters.
Size matters.
Understood.
I have cat sitting on my lap.
All right, sure, whatever makes the editors feel better.
Okay, so that's a -1.
So,
yeah, that's her turn.
Wait, hold on. You made a fighting roll.
unskilled.
You're unskilled in fighting. Oh,
She's unskilled
dear.
in fighting, but she's pissed.
Yep, I love it. I love it anyway. And you know what? Take a Benny. Because that is playing into your bloodthirstiness and doing...
He's just...
Yeah, you're dang right I am.
He's giving you one just to get one.
Yeah. Nothing is entirely
Absolutely nothing happens with
altruistic.
that. She completely misses, but she's fucking angry.
Okay.
Like, she hits the ground so hard that it just sends a loud noise across the room.
Yeah, you're just, like, you aren't able to make any contact with this thing. It is flying fast and head-sized. But it is still locked in on you. Gloria, you are up. You now see all this happening with Brawk using protection, with Hawthorne diverting off and looking into one of the bunks, Nyne running ahead. Karina, you can see now, even though you can't see the exact details from right here, you can see as she is slicing or stabbing at something.
So I kind of look down at my arm that was previously looped into Nyne's and just kind of look at my arm a second like, okay. As I approach the head, I'm horrified. Even though my memories of being a doctor feel fuzzy, like at the edge of my conscious. Like if I reach out, I can almost grab them, but they're just not quite there. I know this feels very wrong to me. And so I think what I would do is there's something magical that's animating this head when their body should be at rest. And this is blasphemous. And so I'm going to attempt to dispel whatever's making this head magical. Like there's some weird magic here, and that doesn't feel right to me.
Okay. I love this. So, that is a power of yours. It
is, yes.
It's only one power point, so the first thing you're going to have to do then is the range. Okay, so first thing, as you run up close enough to see this head, but not be able to, like, be physically in contact, you're able to be at range, but you can see it. Could you please make me a fear roll?
Yeah, totally.
I'm going to give you a situational... And Gloria wouldn't even know why, even if she understood what roles were. A situational +1 on this one because of your doctor past and seeing strange things like this.
Okay, let me find. Is fear?
It's a spirit roll. Spirit roll.
Spirit roll? Okay, perfect.
Come on, big money.
So that's an 11 plus the 1.
Didn't
for a
even
12.
need the bonus. You see this again. I just want to make this clear for roleplay purposes. I know all of you know this. Just because you succeed your fear save doesn't mean you aren't bothered by it necessarily, but it just isn't mechanical. How you choose to respond to it, that's up to your character at that point. But so you see this, you go to cast Dispel Magic, or Dispel, so we have to do an occult roll for you, I believe it was.
Yes.
And I'll let you know before you roll this. This is going to be, in this situation, a -2. It's not a -2 for it to go off. It's a -2 for it to do what you're wanting it to do.
Totally fair.
Woo!
So my D8 exploded. So that gives me a total of 13, even after the -2.
Even after a -2. So that is...
So I believe that's 2 raises.
Yes, it is. Very much.
That's my fucking girl. Let's go.
Damn
Let's
it.
fucking go.
Damn it. So, Karina.
I understand heads. I've seen severed heads.
That's a line
this,
for the
this
quote
should not
book.
be a thing.
That's a line for the quote book if I've
I
heard
know
one. I
heads.
understand heads.
I've seen a lot of heads.
Has Gloria used... I feel like Gloria's used Dispel once, or
I
attempted
have.
to.
I've used it at least once when I tried to dispel the fog, and I was unsuccessful.
Correct. So
That's
what
when
is
I heard
this-
voices in my head. But I think I've also just used Dispel one other time.
So what does this look like?
So what it looks like is, as soon as I'm close enough to interact with it, but not close enough to be bitten, my wings flap a little. And as I flap my wings, little golden sparkles seem to flow and kind of fall over it.
Love it. Absolutely love it. And with a double raise, even with a penalty. As Karina, you are swinging at this thing with the fire poker, there are suddenly these small golden sparkles that fly from the corner of your vision towards the head, and the head falls onto the ground.
I'd like to go over, if it's possible still in my turn, and gently close the eyes.
Okay. Let me look.
I'm not scared, I'm just sad.
As the head falls to the ground, the screaming continues, by the way. So, and we are not out of action order. No. We still got another thing in here. And the ones of you who are closest to where the head was, though, you notice that the body, which had been still in the same slumped over sleeping position, as the head hit the ground, started to go and feel around its shoulders and reach up to feel where the head should be, and just moves around where it isn't. Just blindly looking for its own head. That brings us, though, to the end of that action, which means that the one who hasn't gotten to go yet is going to go. The giant spider. Let me pull one thing up. I have to have its statistics.
At least we know what's in the beds, okay?
It's true. All right. This is going to make a 2 fighting rolls at Hawthorne. That means it will be with a -2 on each one. First one is a 7. How does that compare to your parry, Hawthorne?
Try to open it right now. There it goes. I have a 7 parry.
7 parry, so meet will beat, but that means no raises. So it is only going to do strength plus d4. So that is 10 damage to you compared to your toughness.
That's a 7.
Which means that it's not a raise, so you are simply shaken by this.
Shaken. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Only shaken. Yeah. So that is its action as this large, silent, shadowy spider has descended from this bunk. And as it descends, the halfling woman who was there crying and screaming suddenly takes, her breath slows down a little bit. And you're not able to see this, Hawthorne, because you're a little distracted by the large spider trying to bite you and succeeding. But her breath slows into a restful slumber. That will bring us to the top of the order, so we gotta deal these out again. Damn. High ones here. They're all right next to each other. So, here's what that means, actually. All of you got your cards in a clump compared to the one remaining bad guy that we still know of here. So that means, or the one active opponent. So that means you all get to choose whatever order you would like to go in.
Angela, you take care of Karina.
Yeah, I could do that.
And we heard, so it's in the same, just so I understand, in the same room is this Death Eater spider thing.
So you all are in the sleeper car, and this sleeper car, like I said,
but we're not making any noise. The spider's not making any noise, and neither am I. Do they even know I'm in trouble?
I mean, do you
that's
think you didn't make any noise?
No, that.
Well, I probably made some grunting noises when I charged it.
Then I will say that those of you who have charged ahead, Brawk, actually, you're the one who would be most likely to still see it, because you're the one who stayed the farthest back of anyone. Okay. Especially given at the top of the initiative order, Ira. Brawk, help Hawthorne!
What's happening with Hawthorne? What about the head?
You turn and you see a spider roughly as tall as Hawthorne, horns included, that has climbed out, that is still in the process of climbing out of one of the bunks. Like its back 2 legs are still there as it is stretching forward, and you turn to see it sink its teeth into Hawthorne as Hawthorne stumbles back.
No, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the turn. And I'm going to burst it. So I haven't done this in a minute. So burst produces a large fan of energy that bathes its targets in red hot fire, a cone of cold, or other damaging matter energy.
Oh, really quick, I am so sorry to interrupt. Hawthorne, because you got bitten, could you please make me a vigor roll with a -4?
Why a -4?
Because the poison is quite strong.
I'm not happy about that.
Did you just fucking hiss?
Perhaps. I am a piranha plant. Okay. I am making a roll. Ugh.
That is a 3. You will take 1 additional wound from that poison. So you are shaken and...
Can I spend a penny to re-roll it?
Absolutely!
Let's do that.
4 for me.
It's the annoyance that was there in that tone.
You got this, come on.
Oh no, it's way fucking worse.
You can spend another. It's only your first.
No, I take my wound as
Okay.
prideful Hawthorne would.
So you are able to see, Brawk, as this shadowy spider silently stabs the shoulder of Hawthorne. Yes, I am proud of that unintentional alliteration. And from where the fangs pierce into Hawthorne's shoulder, there is this gush of thick, sludge-like black liquid that, as it pours from the wound and from the fangs, dissolves into mist before it even hits the floor. But it is, you can see as the shadow spider pumped it into Hawthorne.
Okay, so I hate that. So what Hawthorne? What was Hawthorne? And then I see over. Oh fuck! And I'm gonna just slightly run and then kind of freak out a little bit and just go. And I have the option to use my burst as a stream, which I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And my goal as
because that's
Brawk,
what you did last time, and
that is what I did last time. It's never been a cone; it's always been a stream. But it does say that you have options. But I'm gonna stream this fire laser finger because my goal is to get it off of Hawthorne. So I'm additionally gonna dump 2 extra power points to increase my damage.
Okay.
If I get a burst, it can be to 4d6. Otherwise, it's just 3d6.
Yes, if
So
you
I'm
get a
gonna roll
raise, it's 4d6. Otherwise, 3d6 normally. So go ahead and make your alchemy roll, though, to see if this goes off.
Baller shot collar, got it.
Not only got it,
10.
got it with a raise. So
4d6.
if memory serves, you pull out a little bottle that this, as
yes.
the burst of this energy goes streaking straight towards this shadowy thing. That is
I open it in front of my finger, and that's what propels it.
So that is 4d6 damage.
Let's go, baby. $14 damage.
14 damage.
Fire.
Its toughness is an 8.
Bah!
Which means you beat it by a raise. Could you... Or, so, as this streaks through just as soon as it makes contact with this shadowy spider, like a cannonball going through smoke, there is a large central hole created in the spider, and from there it just dissolves away.
Wait, the whole spider?
Yeah. You did a wound and shaken. It's not a wild card.
Eddie face.
Hawthorne is slowly falling down to the ground and going, I didn't eat the donut. I didn't eat that donut. I didn't eat it.
As you are falling to the ground, Hawthorne, with this poison still coursing through your veins, your vision at this exact moment is strange. And you look up from the kneeling position for a second, just back to the bunk where the halfling lays, where the spider was. And you see tucked in the corner of this bunk, towards the feet of the sleeping halfling, only about 2.5, maybe 3 feet tall, this gray-skinned, squat, toad-like looking humanoid. It has large black eyes, a tongue that is lolling out of its mouth, and is just staring towards the sleeping halfling with a slack-jawed gaze. As she begins to sleep a little fitfully again. And when you blink, your vision is normal and you can't see that figure anymore. The body, the headless body, is still patting itself, and we are currently out of the action order because there are no current hostile targets. I saw 2 hands go up at once, Nyne and then Karina.
Nyne at this point, seeing that things are, at least with this group, is good to go, and seeing Karina kind of go wildly, just swinging the fire poker around, Nyne's gonna kind of just grab her shoulders and, Karina, hey, Hey, you good? Whoa, hey, good.
As he grabs her, she's going to attempt to swing at him.
100%. Do you all want to do that PvP, or do you just want to narrate, or whether you hit or not? It's up to you.
Up to you, Nyne.
We can role play it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the hit.
There you go.
All right.
I'll take the hit.
She will swing backwards, like over her shoulder at him. Would he release his grip on her?
No, because it would be like he would think that would be an accident. Hey, look, hey, it's me.
She's gonna swing again.
Can
Go.
I just like tap Nyne and just use a PowerPoint for protection so that he can just take this and brush it off?
I'm going to allow that, no roll necessary, just take the PowerPoint away. So yes, you see this little interaction, you just give him a little boost to armor.
Sometimes people need to just take out their aggression somehow. But if he's a little tougher, then hopefully it won't.
And between both of your
It'll roll
protections
off.
now, he can take this on the chin.
All right, fuck you. What the hell? All right, then hit me then. Come on then. Come on. Want to get some shit out? Let's go.
She will just keep hitting him until she is stopped.
Gloria, you being the closest to Nyne and Karina, and specifically the additional closest to the door, the body has still been patting itself, fumbling where its head should be. And the head, you just happen to look down at where it was, and like an individual in deep sleep, you can see movement of the eyes behind the now closed eyelids. It wasn't doing that when you closed them. It's almost like the magic that you dispelled was temporary.
Karina, Nyne, you know the head that was trying to bite you? I think it's starting to move again. We should go right now. Let's go. Are you hurt? Do you have, like, Karina, how hurt are you? Do you need me to heal you so that we can go?
It's fucking squirrely. What the hell?
Okay, then let's go.
I'm fine.
Hawthorne,
I'm fine.
Brawk, let's go. We're going. We're going. We're going right now.
We're going. We're going.
After
And he
me.
just reaches
Let's
his
go.
hand up.
Is Hawthorne cognitive enough to stand up and walk?
Yes, because
Okay.
first of all, go ahead and make...
I didn't know what the poison was doing.
Since we're out of combat, Shaken is going to go away, because since you get to make that check every 6 seconds, you would inevitably get it. So Shaken is gone. You still have the wound, which is a permanent -1 to things.
Hawthorne, are you good? Do you need me? We need to go.
What? What? Where are we going?
Oh, no.
What happened? You guys, there was a spider. Wait, what's going on?
Oh, my gosh.
Hawthorne's dripping.
As I get close to Hawthorne, can I tell that you're, like, unwell?
There's a giant hole in my side where a spider has bitten me, where, like, blood, like, black stuff is coming out, poison and stuff.
Oh,
so I'm
sweetheart.
Like, what?
I will attempt to heal Hawthorne while also trying to usher everybody through the door.
Okay.
Like, we're going, so I'm going to try to heal you, but also, like, let's go. Part of my touching you to heal you is also pulling you to your feet. Like, let's get moving. And I'll use 3 power points to try to heal Hawthorne.
That one I am going to ask you to roll, because that's important. So please an occult check, because who knows?
What happened with the head thing?
4.
4, that is enough to remove 1 wound.
I stopped the head from being magically alive, but I just noticed its eyes were twitching. It might, like, come alive again, so we should go before that happens. Did you hear me?
Black and stuff? Is it black and stuff still?
The head?
Yeah. Whenever the spider, black stuff, it was everywhere. But was the head still black and stuff, like Brawk was saying?
No, you. And Brawk is still, like, sitting, like, holding Nyne's hand.
Stand up, Brawk!
Give me time, Gloria! You
Gloria's crossed her arm.
black stuff. I'm sorry, that was really disrespectful, especially to such a wonderful lady. But I got it was coming out of you from it.
Well, I barely understood any of that, but I think I got it. Okay,
the black
okay,
stuff
we
does look
can
a
go
little
back.
concerning, but Brawk, I think I peeled Hawthorne. I'll pull out my handkerchief, look at it longingly, and then be like, I'll sacrifice this for the cause. I give you my handkerchief, Hawthorne. You can wipe off the black stuff. Let's go.
Okay.
If I put you down, you stop swinging.
She'll just go limp in your arms and let the poker fall to the ground.
Fuck, thank God.
No,
All right,
no,
look, put her down, grab her poker, give it back to her. Let's go, okay? You're fine. Gloria will heal you up with her, okay?
We're going.
Don't fucking scare us like that.
We're going.
We know what's that way, but
Ira,
what's
let's
that
move.
way? Wait,
All right,
did
no,
you
I'm
guys
ready.
go
Let's
through the
go.
door? Wait,
Like Ira
what?
as you have said numerous times, like we're going. Ira got to the door, moving past the headless body that is patting itself down, and goes to use the door handle, and there is a kunk, 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 kunk as they try several times to open it, and they turn around. It's locked.
Oh, no.
And they point to the sign. It
Oh
says,
my gosh,
"Please see
I have to do
attendant."
everything. I'll use my lock spell. I'm going to try to I have lock and unlock. I'm going to try to unlock the door.
As you
We are leaving.
and Hawthorne.
Oh no, she can try and unlock
Okay.
the door first, but I impulsively, Hawthorne, seeing that I pointed to the sign, would pick up the head and start to walk it to the body.
As you do, somehow the body seems to be aware of what you are doing in that moment and stops patting itself down and reaches its hands forward expectantly.
Hawthorne will hand over the head.
Oh, that's nice.
As it sets the head back onto the stump of its neck.
Ew.
And like
Ew, the stump? Dude.
it twists it, not much, several times, but kind of like, just trying to get the alignment perfectly right, and then it seems to be content, takes its hands away cautiously, and then, yeah, sorry about that. You ready to get into the show?
Yeah, we would love to, man. Are you okay? Are you doing okay?
Checks his
You
watch.
seem to have lost your head there.
He checks his watch, which is shattered, and says, "Yeah, the next show should be starting in about 5 minutes, so it's a good time. And no, I'm fine. It happens every now and then. Don't worry about it."
Did you say show?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what's in that car. It's a performance car.
What kind of performance is this?
Keep it down, people. I'm trying to sleep. And as he says, shh, to you, there were still a number of screams going off in here the whole time. But as he says, shh, it echoes. And the voices and screams diminish in volume. They don't go away entirely, though they do drop off one by one. But the volume lowers, and then they start to peter out. People are sleeping. Shh, shh, shh.
Yeah. So. Did you? Are you familiar with the spider resident? On your. Never mind. What's the show about?
Not really sure, but they always book some good entertainment on here, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I never get to go in.
What was that?
Someone's gotta watch the door, innit?
Well, yeah, but the head and the spider
We'd love to
and
see the show, wouldn't we? Let's.
oh my god.
He looks back towards the door and gives it a kung kung. And a few seconds later, there is a kung kung from the opposite side. Looks like we're good to go. reaches over, slides the door open, and there is a small amount of fog leading into what looks like a black room. Hope y'all enjoy.
Just kind of usher everybody through. All right, let's go, guys. Hey, what's your name? Okay, Sleepy. You got a name?
You ask that, and he opens his mouth, starting to answer, and then it hangs there for a sec, and he closes his mouth and shakes his head again. Sorry about that. You here for the show?
Okay, so hey, no disrespect, your head fell off and bit my friend. So and Nyne is not. Nyne is kind of.
I apologize about that for what it's worth. I don't really have control over where it happens.
I appreciate the apology. And Nyne is still kind of inside the train car, and I got to do this out of and just pops him in the jaw and leaves.
And as you do that, could you make me a quick spirit roll, Nyne?
Cool. And we got a 2. I'm gonna spend it, Manny.
Okay.
Don't ever say I didn't do anything for you, fucking psychopath.
I haven't even used any of them. I'm just collecting.
Not you.
Okay.
Talking to the one.
I was like, I haven't even done it.
There we go. That's better.
What'd you get?
I got a 20.
Never mind. You feel like as you're hearing his explanation before you clock him, there's a second where you just feel pretty tired for a second, and those beds look really nice. But then you just, as he's doing his spiel, you rub your eye and then just pop, clock him right under the jaw. And as you do, the head disconnects, and the body just kind of drops back down into the chair. The screaming of the head starts as you pass through the door and shut it behind.
I feel good. And just looks at Karina. Don't ever say I don't do anything for you.
She doesn't even acknowledge you. She's looking down at her feet right now.
Is
good? Kind of look.
You just get off.
I don't know how far we got on the train. I don't know how many cars are left.
As you all step into this room, it's a black box theater, but in a train car. Curtains are black, carpet is black, chairs are black, stage painted black. And there is a stage. The sound of the train itself is a little bit dampened in here from all of the curtains that hang in here. There are no windows. And there's no one sitting in any of the seats. And up on the stage, where there are about 12 rows of seats, up on the stage there is a smaller stage, almost it looks like one that was set up for a puppet show or a marionette show. And we're going to take a quick break before we delve fully into this room so that people can refresh their drinks, do all of that. We will be back in 5 to 10 minutes, y'all. Don't go anywhere to see what happens with this next weird room. Be right back, y'all. And we back. Let me adjust one thing here so that everyone is framed up perfectly. There we go. All right. Let me get one. Oh, no. I think I got it. Yeah. You all enter into this theater space. And there is an almost, as you approach the stage, an almost charmingly rudimentary set kind of just materializes into being. And you can see that there are actually 5 separate sets up here currently. Little vignettes. There's no one else in the theater right now. There's no one on stage at the moment. It's just you all. Karina?
I think the second Karina enters... So the stage, when we enter through the door, would be like on the far side of the car?
Yes.
She's going to find a place against the back wall and just slide down the back wall until she's sitting on the carpet, and then just pull her knees to her chest and hide in fetal position.
Actually, let me retcon one thing there. If it changes your description, feel free. The stage isn't on the opposite side. The stage is actually on the right wall. So you enter along one of the wings, and the exit to the car is at the opposite side of the audience. But you move towards the back of the audience and
towards the back of the audience and just slumps down against the wall.
Anyone else?
I want to look around. Do I see any like severed heads? Maybe any giant spiders? Are there people having night terrors? Just I'm scoping it out.
Go ahead and make me a notice check.
I would also like to make a notice check because I want to see what horrors persist in this fucking place.
Love that.
Four.
I got a 5.
There isn't anything that immediately comes to your attention that's nefarious or sets off those alarm bells. It looks like a theater. What I will say, each of the two of you, as you're looking around, you kind of wander through the empty rows of seats here. And as you get closer to the front row, the charming little sets that I described that look like they were almost made out of paint and plywood, like grade school but very good, those materialize in front of you, and each one of you, Gloria and Nyne, when you look at one of the sets, and it's different for each of you, there's a tickle in the back of your head. Gloria, the one that kind of tickles in the back of your mind looks like a office of some sort with a very well-organized, maybe professor's office or medical office or something like that. Nyne, the one for you looks like the inside of a bar. That's what you notice, the two of you on that notice check. Brawk, Hawthorne, what about the two of you?
Brawk is not really trusting that we're in some sort of theater. And he's definitely not comfortable after that little display in the sleeping car. So he would definitely pop off a sleuth. Though I don't know if that's necessary right now, since you guys just did that.
Sleuth?
But he
Go
would
ahead.
do it anyway.
All right.
So I'm going to spend a minute.
Don't worry, Brawk. I didn't really see anything.
Oh, well, I mean, he's just looking around with his eyes really wide, and he's kind of sweating, and he's just like clocking everything like very regimentally from left to right, like a little pinball machine.
You notice a few things. First, you notice the door on the opposite side leading out of the car. That is labeled Mirror Car.
Mirror car?
You also notice those charming little sets on stage, and one of them also triggers a memory for you.
Oh no.
It's an alleyway. And you can see there's a door that leads inside a building where there is blood. Looks like a crime scene. That triggers you don't remember seeing that, but you have an experience that you can only describe as deja vu.
He's gonna walk towards the thing the set that triggered this deja vu.
Flick, flick,
Oh,
flick, flick.
what's this?
Flick, 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 flick. The lights dim and come back on, dim, come back on, dim, come back on. There is a voice overhead and all around, soothing. Please take your seats. The show will begin shortly.
Oh, okay. And he's gonna put he's gonna wring his hands together, and I guess backwards walk away from the stage and turn around and go walk towards his friends. Where would you like to sit?
I usually like to sit near the top of the seating so I can see everything. I don't like cracking my neck too much. Like right in the fucking middle.
Hawthorne just walks up to the nearest seat and sits down.
Oh.
What about you, Gloria? Angel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Follow you guys. Let's go.
So, we're all in the theater, just like generally, compared to the stage. Would you all be sitting? And you can sit
Bad.
separate.
Well, I feel like we were all towards the front because they were walking towards the stage, so I would naturally be sitting in the front.
The rest of you.
I'll go and sit by Nyne and Hawthorne. I guess we're all towards the front. Although Karina's in the back. So before I sit down, I do want to peek back and take Karina. We've got some seats up front.
She doesn't respond, but she just kind of shakes her head. And she'll just remain sitting behind the chairs against the wall.
Nyne, maybe we should sit towards the back.
Yeah, that's... Nyne kind of looks at Karina. Yes, that's not a bad idea. That way you got two in the front, and then we can hang out in the back. And keep an eye on each one of us,
And you can get a better view of everything
Yes.
without craning your neck. It's a good
Correct.
option.
I like that. Nice little compromise. It's good.
All right. You all take your seats. And as you take your seats, eventually you all start to hear soft murmuring. And each one of you in your own time slowly comes to realize that the seats around you, not all of them, but some of them, which were previously unoccupied, are now occupied by some of those shades, those shapes, those black humanoid spirit-like figures that sit in anticipation of the show beginning. And the house lights fall. Kunk. There is the sound of a spotlight being flipped on, a beam of light pointed towards the stage where a black curtain has now covered all of the sets. the narrator begins to speak as a marionette comes on stage. About maybe 4 feet tall. It depicts a woman with parchment white skin, long black hair, and all black clothing. Though in reality, the marionette seems to be painted gray instead of black so that it is separated from the black backdrop. Got to keep that in mind when you're planning your sets. There was, long ago, a youthful and brilliant woman of noble blood. The land in which she lingered bored her so. And so she sent far and wide for the greatest entertainment she could find. The marionette, a little writing desk, rises from a trapdoor in front of the marionette, and the marionette seems to sit in front of it, or sit behind it, and write some letters. A second marionette with gray skin walks in, retrieves the letters, and walks off stage, or walks towards stage left, handing the letters to another marionette. It's a complicated staging situation. Eventually, as the more colorfully dressed marionette takes these letters, the music begins to be heard throughout the theater. And we see as the colorfully dressed individual strolls from one end of the stage to the other, and the curtain rises as it does. The first place that it goes is the scene that stuck out to you, Brawk. An outdoor scene that seems to depict a crime scene. And there is now another marionette there, crouching down, a tall figure. Humanoid, almost bovine in its features, but wearing cloth over its shoes. And the colorfully dressed individual takes one of the letters and passes it to... Buddy, come here. Come here. No.
There's always that one patron that doesn't turn his fucking phone off at all. Just that one person.
Always.
We see as the colorfully dressed individual that all of you now recognize as depicting a vista passes one of the letters to this first figure. And the narrator continues. Oh, how they danced and jumped and juggled. The second scene, the one that caught your attention, Nyne. And the Vista marionette walks into this tavern and hands the letter to a marionette that looks almost like you. But the panther head is too large. It looks like an ornament rather than a true head, a head dressing. Oh, the games they played. And we watch this marionette stroll into the doctor's office, hand a letter to a marionette that looks very much like Gloria. Stroll into another bar and hand a letter to a dwarf seated at a table. And stroll into a room with curtains everywhere, handing it to a woman, a female marionette that seems to be smoking a pipe fairly similar to the one that Karina herself smokes. Oh, the games they played, all the while thinking they wrote the rules. That they wrote the plays, they wrote the jokes. But one day, the curtain drops. We see the 5 marionettes that the Vista one had deposited a letter to standing in front of the woman dressed in all black, who now has been replaced by a marionette that is wearing a black dress instead of what was almost more akin to black armor before. One day, the jester's jibes didn't make the woman laugh. The strong man's feats of strength grew frail. The strong man's feats of strength grew frail. The brawler's bravado fell flat. And so the woman did the only thing she could. The same thing she'd done 100 times before when her toys failed to entertain. A pair of gloved hands, unnaturally large, descends from above the stage. If these hands were attached to an individual, they must be 40 feet tall. And the hands reach down and grab one of the marionettes. Could each one of you roll me a d20?
I rolled a virtual d20.
All right. What'd you get?
18.
8.
Okay. Anyone get lower than 8?
Also an 8.
Oh, did anyone
20.
get Karina? Karina with a 2. So that is going to be Karina. The hands reach down. The marionettes on their own seem to scatter from under its impending grip like fish fleeing from the net. And the hand reaches down and grabs the marionette that had been smoking that long pipe. Grabs it in both hands and snaps it in half. And as it does, blood pours forth from the severed marionette. The marionette's face contorting to a silent scream.
I whisper towards Nyne. That feels inaccurate. Marionettes shouldn't be bleeding.
I don't like marionettes. I don't like dolls.
The audience around starts to laugh and cheer as the marionette is snapped in half. Do you all do anything in this moment or say anything, or do you keep watching?
What the fuck?
Nyne?
Nyne would instinctively. Oh God, this is gonna. Listen, don't listen to your black thoughts. Just do it. Nyne will turn around and look at Karina.
Nyne will what?
Nyne will turn around and look for Karina.
Okay. What does he see?
Karina is sitting there. Her knees are down now, and she has one hand resting on where she was bit. But with every sentence that was said by the narrator, she's just been digging her hand into that wound, trying to just focus. So she just looks deathly pale and half covered in blood as she watches her marionette gets torn in half. Her eyes are wide, and she looks a combination of both angry and just terrified. And if I am allowed, I would like to give her the shaken.
Of course you can. You can always give yourself negative effects. Gloria?
I don't believe that mechanical dolls or marionettes should be able to bleed. So if possible, It love to just I sat in the back and I'm regretting that now. I'm going to kind of nobody's behind me. I'm going to stand up a little and try to get a better look. Does it literally look like human blood, or is there a special effect I can see?
It looks, make me a notice check.
Would my investigator trait work here?
If you get close to it or get your hands on it, yes. Because investigator is more.
Yeah, but I'm not
with
close
a
right now.
thing.
I'm in the back.
This is more just what
Yeah.
you can see from here.
Oops, I forgot. I don't know why I clicked the -2.
That's
Still,
no problem.
I think it should be. I rolled 2 5s.
5. Okay.
Turd off,
look-
clueless, but I think I double did it.
That looks like blood. If it might be a special effect. It might be you don't know how it's done. And it might be a special effect that is utilizing actual blood as the material component of it. But as far as you can tell from here, that's blood. And as you stand up and stare and start to move closer, trying to figure out what's happening, the narrator continues. No one heard as they flailed against the inevitable. No one heard as they screamed at their own certain failure. No one heard, and no one cared about the plight of the toys that thought they were the players.
Oof.
The end! And the voice of the narrator shifts to this very unnaturally cheerful sound. The body of the marionette drops from the hands as the hands make a sort of ta-da, sweeping gesture. All the marionettes that you have seen be used, including the snapped-in-half Karina, or the snapped-in-half one that seems to be representing Karina, stand and take a bow, though the half Karina is basically just the bottom half at this point. That kind of just does a curtsy from the knees. And as they walk off stage, that Karina shoves the upper half of its body across the stage with its foot, leaving a long streak mark of blood. As they start to exit off stage, there are cheers and applause from the shade-like things all around you. And then, as the lights in the room begin to come back up, those figures disappear.
Brawk is going to lightly snap. He is going to throw himself up out of his chair, hyperventilating. You see? You see? That's what I was saying before. We're toys. Here. We're going to die here. And he points at the stage. And then he just lets himself sink to the floor in front of Hawthorne.
Yeah, Hawthorne just pulls out a bottle from his jacket and takes a drink while Brawk has this moment.
Polite.
Can I look closer at the blood?
Absolutely. So you go
Okay.
up there, and your investigator trait...
I think I just get a +2 when I investigate things.
So it specifically seems to be for papers and all of that, but I'm going to allow it for this one also because of your
Okay.
medical background as well. I'm going to let it apply to medical things. So you can make a notice roll with a +2 now that you're closer.
Okay, I'm gonna look towards the blood, and I want to look for clotting. Does it appear like it's interacting with oxygen in the air as I would expect it to?
Love that.
And then I also, I'm worried about this. Six.
6. You walk up to the stage where there's this streak of blood, and you run your finger over it to get some so that you can check it, and none comes up. Not only does none come up, where you run your finger, there isn't even a mark. Which, with a 6, your first thought is, this is entirely an illusion. I can't physically interact with this. So it must not be physical.
Okay.
9.
Nyne will have been just staring at, after looking back from Karina and staring at the rest of the play. You'll just hear Nyne underneath his breath and progressively getting louder until he bursts out, "I ain't no fucking plaything." And as you see, his hands have broken the seat in front of him because he has dug his claws into it and they have broken it. "Ain't no fucking plaything. I told you that." You 6 foot tall piece of shit. I fucking told you at that goddamn cursed ass house that I ain't no fucking plaything. I'm nobody's fucking toy. I'm my own fucking man. I make my own fucking choices. I'm not dying on this fucking train. I'm not dying in this fucking hellscape of a fucking city. Fuck you and everything you fucking stand for. And throws the back of the chair up into the stands. "We're leaving now."
Just clatters a few feet from you, Gloria. And Nyne, I'm not sure whether getting a response or not getting a response would have been more satisfying for Nyne. But as you shout this, there is no response.
I'm not here for your fucking amusement. Fuck this shit. I'm ready to go.
Hawthorne?
Hawthorne, he's been drinking a little. He is going to have this weird idea to get up, take the donut from his pocket, and see if he can dip it into the blood.
Okay.
Hawthorne, the blood's not there.
It's not there. Did it dissipate completely, or could she just not interact with it?
She just couldn't interact with it. You can still see it.
Okay. So with the donut, I'm going to stand up and try and, it comes from the train. It's part of the train. Can it pick up and interact with the blood? It's blood itself. Blood meets blood, blah, blah, crap. So I'm going to try and dip the donut.
No blood comes up.
Well, I don't know. I tried something. I feel smart. Am I smart, Gloria?
Yeah. No, that was actually, it's important to investigate. And just because I wasn't able to interact with it doesn't mean that something from here couldn't. I think that it was a good move.
Thanks.
Are you going to eat that?
Hawthorne puts it back into his pocket and goes, "Mine."
Right. No.
Mine.
Is everyone all right? That was a bit of a creepy show.
Brawk is just gently weeping, just very softly and consistently from the floor, leaning against the stage. As you're doing
Hawthorne will go up and start comforting him while everybody tries to figure out where Karina is, because she hasn't said anything for forever.
She's still sitting there staring.
So, there is... I will also say that Gloria right now, because I think you are in the mindset more than anyone here to actually be able to notice things. Because some are raging, some are crying, some are disassociating, some are drinking.
I can still see.
You were investigating, and so you hear a thunk from the other door.
Can I walk towards the other door?
Sure. Oh yeah, absolutely. It has on the little window there silver lettering that says "Mirror Car."
Hey, y'all. I don't know if it's a good idea. I'll freely admit going to this room was maybe not our best idea. But I could also imagine that if there's going to be repeat performances, we don't really want to stick around. And I heard something through this door. Does anyone want to check it out?
As you are saying this, one of those shade figures reappears in the room, fairly large in compared to some of the others. Not huge, but, like 8.5 feet tall. Has in its hands a little tall dustpan and broom, and begins to start cleaning in the rows of seats.
The fuck is this guy?
Can I go up to the door and test the handle? Is it locked?
Oh, unlock. As soon as you try it, opens. The sound of the train gets a little louder as you are able to hear the train outside. You see the fog, and you see that there's another car.
So the door is right by where Karina's sitting and where Nyne is still. Is that, if I'm understanding the layout correctly?
Not too far from where Karina is. It's not right next to it. If you think about it in terms of directions, you entered from the south. The other door is at the north. Karina is towards the west. The stage was towards the east.
Okay.
But it's not a huge car.
Would anybody want to check out this room? Brawk?
You
Or maybe
hear
stay
Brawk-
here?
You hear Brawk sigh, but he puts his hands on his knees and stands up. He grabs the lapels of his jacket and he tosses it back onto his shoulder. And with that, you smell the sweat that's been clinging to his body during this whole situation. Ooh. And he collects himself, smooths the sweat and wild hair off of his forehead and back. We might as well trudge forward because there's no way before.
At about this time, the glitching shade spirit that had been sweeping in here disappears. The curtain that had fallen rises once again and displays those same scenes here. And you just hear, "The next show will begin in 5 minutes." Can't hear you.
No.
I said, "Oh, we need to get the hell out of here right now." I hit the wrong button.
Karina. Karina! Waves his hand in front of her.
What?
And he places his hand out to her, palm up. We have to move. I don't know you want to, but we have to.
She'll pull the hand that she's got on her neck, like where the wound is, and she'll just place a very bloodied, very shaking hand into Brawk's hand.
But you could, and he just stares at it, and he pulls you up. And as you part hands, he tries to hide that he's wiping his hand vigorously on the thigh of his pants.
She's not going to notice anything like that.
Good. He doesn't want you to.
Then she'll follow wherever Brawk goes.
Shall we?
Do you all proceed into the next car?
Yes.
Yeah.
As you step through this door, out of the black box theater style car, and into the next car, the fog, again, it's not as heavy as those walls, those curtains of it you've encountered, but it is present. And as you step through it, you start to see these glints of light. And as the fog clears, You don't even remember walking through a door. But you find yourself in a room whose size you cannot determine because every surface of it is mirrored. There are strange and confusing angles in here. It isn't a simple box. There are pulls and twists and turns, the floor, the ceiling, the walls. Everything in here is mirrored. And you are immediately greeted by your reflections. But they look different. And we'll find out exactly how next time. Thank you all so much for joining us for the sleeping car and the performer's car episode. Next up, we'll be dealing with the mirror car, unless they decide to backtrack and say, never mind. Which is always an option. And thank you, my friends, so much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to play this game, tell this story, and just for being the amazing people that you are. As we start to sign off, please don't go anywhere, friends, so that we can raid and share this little love from this community. But I want to give everyone an opportunity first to do a quick shout out, let you know where you can find them, what they're up to. Let's go ahead and go in the same order we did at the top. Let's go with Anna Margaret.
Hello. This is so much fun. Thanks for being with us here tonight. My one big announcement is that I am launching a TTRPG channel with the amazing Lewis Stardust and comedian MTG. And our new channel goes live the second week of April with an awesome Pokemon D&D 5e one-shot. And so it'll be super fun. And actually, Lauren and Ethan appear in episode 3.
That was a fun session.
It'll be so much fun. So keep an eye out for that. It'll be launching the second week of April.
Awesome. Sally! Oh, and when it does launch, seriously, go listen to it. And I'm not biased just because I'm on one of the episodes. It's going to be awesome. They're all incredibly talented. Go follow it.
You should follow it.
Sally.
What he said. Hi, I'm Sally. I'm streaming, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and some Sundays. And we body paint a lot and, go visit my Etsy store, stuff like that. You guys go and have a great week, by the way. Thank you, Ethan, so much for a fun game.
Wouldn't be as fun if you all weren't here. It would just be me talking with myself. So thank you for being here. Lauren, I'm going to save you till last, actually, so that we can just do ours at the same time. Mav.
Hey everyone, it's your Black Guy on Internet. I'm here on Twitch, DigitalClubhouseTV. I just finished up tape 1 of Lost Records, which was a mindfuck of a game. It was great. I can't wait for tape 2, which is in April 15th or April 14th, one of those times. But you can find me here on Twitch, DigitalClubhouseTV, where I play a lot of variety games. Right now, we're currently playing High on Life on Saturdays. On Sundays, it's a mix of games with me and the boys. And I stream tomorrow night. Do I know what I'm playing? Have absolutely no idea, but you can find it at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on DigitalClubhouseTV, where I'm at. Love you.
Matty.
Hello, all. I do things. Just trying to remember what I do. I am doing a couple cons in the next couple months, including one in Victoria, BC, at the end of the month where I am guesting. Hasn't actually been announced yet, so yeah, that's fine. And then I also sell dice, which I will be updating my Etsy store pretty soon with dozens of new sets, hopefully, by the end of the week. So please check those out because I like making dice, and to make them, I need you to buy them.
It does help. And they are great dice.
Just a little bit.
I got to play with them this weekend. Very easy to read. One of the easiest to read sets of dice you'll have. So hugely recommend it for that reason, if nothing else. Lauren?
Hi. I usually stream here on Mondays, just some gaming, casual gaming with Lau. So that's nice. We will also be, our next convention is actually April 25th. It will be Anime STL. So if you're in the Midwest, in the St. Louis area, come on, drop by, say, hey, roll some dice with us, shit the shit, and shoot the shit.
I heard shit the shit.
Shit the shit. Shoot the shit.
I mean, which is typically what you do.
You can shit the shit or shoot the shit, whichever you prefer. But just keep in mind, it's a public space. So other than that, lots of D&D. We've got the podcast, and Ethan's about to tell you all about that, right, Mamio?
Yeah, like I said at the top of the show, go buff yourself. You can listen to it anywhere, and it has our past episodes all cleaned up and with extra sound effects in there, different music and things like that. I normally spend, not to use pity to get you to listen, but I'll use whatever technique I need. I normally spend about 5 to 6 hours on each 2-hour episode. So there's a lot of love that goes in there, just trying to use the sound effects and music and all that just to enhance the story that these wonderful storytellers have already told for you all. So that is my spiel. You can also find me on TikTok and elsewhere as the Buff DM if you ever want TTRPG advice and content and things like that. That's all my stuff. We're going to go ahead and start a raid. And until we see you next time, friends, which should be maybe this Saturday. I'm pretty sure it's this Saturday for Wylde Beyond.
I think we're
well,
off.
we had said that, but now that plans have possibly changed with the local event, we'll see if that changes. Look for an announcement. This is why you should follow the Twitch, so you see when we're going live and all that. It makes it easier. Then you can just look. And until we see you next time, friends, be good to yourselves. It's stressful out there. Take care of yourselves. We love you. Go hydrate and go buff yourself. Bye, friends.
We all chose the left side on this.
And
That
we
was awesome.
are